What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Tyler _TCG back at it again with another week of locals content. Without further ado, let's hop right in. So, welcome to round one. We are going to see me on the left playing Dracoslayers, and we're going to see Matt on the right playing Tearlaments. We're going to roll some die real quick. That is a 5 on my die, and for Matt Colton, he rolled a 4. So I'm going to opt to go first. So now I don't know how this match really goes because this is the first time I'm actually playing against Tearlaments with the Dracoslayer deck. And I think if honestly I just make a board like Abyss Dweller or something else, I'm pretty much good to go. So I drew the most unoptimal hand ever. I drew a copy of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, Pod Desires, Triple Tactics Talent, and 2 copies of Luster Pendulum. So here you're going to see me discard the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon to search out, I think it was Master Pendulum Draco Slayer, because I just need to fill up my scales, excuse me. I need to make some kind of scale to try and make the Beyond the Pendulum. I was hoping my opponent actually had a copy of Tearlament's Havness in hand so I can use the Triple Tactics Talent in a way to draw cards. So I'm activating Pod Desires here, banishing 10, drawing 2, hopefully to draw some extender like a Majesty Pegasus or any other Dracoslayer I could have used. But no, unfortunately I drew into Harmonizing Magician and Sky Iris. So I'm not mad about drawing the Harmonizing Magician because that's an extender. I am upset that the cards banished off of Pod Desires were both Purple Poison Magician and Oath Dragon Magician, both of my targets for Harmonizing. So now my Harmonizing Magician is pretty much dead. So now you see me scale Master Pendulum Dracoslayer and Luster Pendulum Dracoslayer. I now know I have to burn my Pendulum Summon to do anything I need to do, anything I want to do. So I can't make a Abyss Dweller because Luster Pendulum says I cannot use it for an Exceed, Fusion, or Synchro Summon for anything except the Dracoslayer. And Abyss Dweller is not Dracoslayer. So I'm pretty much just trying to wall up and not get OTK'd. So I'm going to attempt to activate the Harmonizing, not for remembering that I banished both my targets off of the Pod Desires. I'm definitely not in a good position. I severely should have just, I don't know what I could have done differently, guys. I should have maybe just shuffled better, you know, to not lose here. But yeah, the next play I think I'm just thinking of what I can do, thinking of what like the best board I can make. I think I make Beyond the Pendulum, and then I'm going to use Beyond the Pendulum effect to search out a copy of the Astrograph Sorcerer because I'm so far behind. My opponent's going into 6 cards. I'm going to end my board with just a Scale and 1 Link monster, knowing my opponent can easily just OTK me because he is playing Tearlaments. So yeah, so here we go, taking the 2 monsters and throwing them into a Beyond the Pendulum, and then Beyond the Pendulum searching out a copy of Astrograph Sorcerer because my other thought process was to add a copy of Perform Skullcrabat Joker for the Crackback to search a high or low scale, search a lower high scale, but unfortunately all my low scales just got banished. The biggest problem this deck suffers the lack of low scales. So here you see me add the Astrograph Sorcerer, and I'm just going to end my turn there. Opponent's got to read over Astrograph. It's been a while since people played this card, but it's honestly one of the best cards ever. I love it. I love playing Astrograph Sorcerer. And then other than that, I'm just going to pass my turn and hope for the best. We're going to see my opponent draw for turn, and then I believe the first card he activates was Instant Fusion here to make Tearlaments Kit Colors. So I'm just got to make sure. Yep, here comes the Instant Fusion, paying the 1,000 life points, and we're already off to a bad start here. Being able just to search out any Tearlament here, he's going to make Kit Colors. Normally, I thought he was going to add Merly and just not have a lot of follow-up after that and just hope his mills weren't that great, but we see him go for the Sheeran, and Sheeran is just so incredibly good. That gives me the knowledge knowing that he already has the Merly, and he just wants to dig for any extra fusion summon material that he needs or anything like that. So we're going to see him think for a second. He's going to opt to activate the Kit Colors effect to tribute itself to special material element from hand. We see the Merly, and then I also see a copy of Super Polymerization. So if I did make a board, it wouldn't matter. So we're going to go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 to mill 8 cards here. We're going to mill, not a lot, we're going to hit Scream, which is pretty good. We're going to hit a Merly, Brandon High Spirit, and just another Merly. Not the best mills for my opponent, but he will be able to proc 1 fusion summon effect as well as search a Tearlaments Trap. So I was thinking he was going to go for the Crime, maybe, to have an Omni negate, but he goes for the Sully. Now, knowing that I think I saw a Rhino Heart in his hand, so it makes a lot of sense why he would go for that. He goes Shaylin, send the Rhino Heart effect to send the Tearlaments Sully from his hand to the graveyard just to do it again, and then here we see him fusion summon into the Rukalos. And we are just not getting any better here, guys. So I'm pretty much dead because I'm already at 6,300 life points. I paid 1,700 total. That's the biggest problem with this deck. It pays so much life points just to do anything. My opponent's graveyard isn't that great either, so I'm not like in total fear about my position yet until he goes Rhino Heart effect, and after that I just seen enough. I scoop up my cards and we move into the next game. Real quick, so while we're deciding, I want to give a shout out to my manager Dylan. He's been doing a great job helping me with the videos and everything. And also, if you guys like Pokemon D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, Dylan and a bunch of my other friends are doing a D&D podcast called the Ranger Rejects. I'll make sure to link it down in the description below. Please check it out if you have time. It's a very fun podcast. So now, opting in for going into the game 2 now, you see a side decking. I'm opting to side deck in 3 copies of Solemn Judgment and a Necro Valley. Because I don't know why I don't like making Abyss Dweller in this deck. I think I just have a hard time making Abyss Dweller because most of the time I'm using my Harmonizing Magician to get the Oath Dragon Magician to make Baron de Fleur. For some reason I just think that's better than Abyss Dweller, but I'm definitely incorrect in the statement. Because when I'm summoning out my Luster Pendulum Dracoslayer, I constantly forget that he can only be used for materials for a Dracoslayer monster. So I think I have other routes to get into that. I should just use Harmonizing to get the Purple Poison Magician out and to make the Abyss Dweller. I'm mostly scared of Nibiru. That's why I don't like making. I like making Baron first. Sorry, I like making Baron to stop the Nibiru, the Primal Being. But not a lot of people are playing Nibiru this format, so it should make more sense to me just to make Abyss Dweller, so that way I know my opponent can't play any of his Tearlament cards, and I could just play my own play fine after that. So, I don't know what my opponent's signing into. Probably like a lot of back row removal, like Cosmic Cyclone to clear any scales, or Lightning Storm to destroy monsters and everything, or just anything to bait out my negates. So we're gonna opt to go first here and hopefully draw something better, anything better than what our previous hands have been. We're gonna start pile shuffling a little bit. Man, siding does take a long time, guys. That's why I love these games. This match is only 13 minutes long, as you can tell by the timing, because I just got immediately just so outplayed, dude. I'm very disappointed by the way I played this match. I could have played this a lot better. I wasn't playing around certain cards. I got a long day. But yeah, so we're gonna go first in game 2 here. Opening hand. The opening hand was beautiful. It was Sky Iris, Astrograph Sorcerer, Majesty Pegasus, Ignis Phoenix, as well as a Triple Tactics Talent. So I go Majesty Pegasus here, activate Majesty Pegasus effect to search out any Dracoslayer. I'm gonna add a copy of Dynamite as soon as I'm done checking my watch of my work group chat going crazy. So yeah, I'm going to add Dynamite here, and then we're going to pop a card. We're going to pop Ignis Phoenix. So we're triggering the Ignis Phoenix here, and I totally misplayed by not activating Astrograph Sorcerer here. I should have just activated Astrograph Sorcerer to search out another copy of Ignis Phoenix, which would have been really nice. But I realize now, if I did that, I wouldn't have access to another low scale except for the Astrograph Sorcerer. So I'm going to grab Luster Pendulum, the Dracoslayer here, and now we're going to scale the Dynamite here to special summon the Ignis, to special summon the Majesty Pegasus. And then we're going to proc the Majesty Pegasus effect to search out any field spell here, which one of the best cards in this deck is Majesty Pegasus. Being able to search any field spell there, I'm going to grab the Necro Valley because I already have Sky Iris in hand, so I don't need to search it. So I'll have another way to stop my opponent. So my opponent just has to read to make sure it adds any field spell, because anytime I tell people that Majesty Pegasus searches any field spell, they go crazy. So here we go for the Beyond the Pendulum, paying the 1,200 life points, opting to search any Pendulum monster. Here I'm going to add a copy of Harmonizing Magician so I can make the Baron de Fleur, when in reality I just need to start making Abyss Dweller and I need to stop fearing Nibiru. It's not a very prominent card right now, because Reclose can just negate it. But yeah, here we go, adding the Harmonizing Magician. And I'm going to scale up the Astrograph Sorcerer to perform my Pendulum Summon for the optimal number of 3 and be able to just go off on a lot better plays. So yep, here we go. We're going to Pendulum Summon. We're going to summon out the Harmonized Magician, the Majesty, and the Luster Pendulum. So now we are going to summon out the Oath Dragon Magician here to make a copy of Baron de Fleur. I'm also thinking about just summoning out the Purple Poison just to make the Abyssal, which I should have done. I don't know why I figured it. So now we're going to make the Baron de Fleur with the Oath Dragon. We're going to banish the Oath Dragon because of the Harmonizing Magician effect. And then we are going to be safe to go off on the rest of our plays here, going into Ignister Prominence, and then Ignister is going to summon us a Dracoslayer from the deck. If you guys have not tried this deck, I definitely suggest you do. This deck is a lot of fun. So yeah, now we're going to go for Ignister here. We're going to proc Ignister's effect to summon a Dracoslayer from the deck. I believe I summoned out the Dynamite. So I was thinking about Contact Fusing it off to make the... Because I haven't normal summoned yet. I have not normal summoned. So yeah, here we go. We're going to get Dynamite here. The reason you Contact Fuse is just so you're able to get another copy of a Dracoslayer back from your face of extract, either Luster, Ignis, or Majesty, just being able to access any of those just for further extenders. So we activate Sky Iris. Sky Iris effect is going to pop. I believe I popped the Astrograph Sorcerer here to grab a copy of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. And I definitely... Now, I'm going to use the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon effect here to search a copy of a level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster as soon as I pick up my pen after I dropped it. So I'm opting to go for the Luster Pendulum here because I haven't normal summoned yet. I was thinking about making a second copy of Beyond the Pen, not Beyond the Pendulum, the second copy of Ignister Prominence to get yet another Dracoslayer out of my deck. But that's not really the correct play to make here. So I opt to normal summon the Luster Pendulum, the Dracoslayer, as I look over my extra deck, thinking if it is correct to contact fuse to special summon one, but not really. So I go for the normal summon, and I go for an XC summon. The only monster I can overlay into here is Magister Paladin because I have only 2 Dracoslayers and Luster can't be used for anything else. I don't know why I'm thinking of any other play I can make here. Like, the only other play is the Contact Fuse to make number 38 Hope Harbinger. So yeah, here we go. We go for the Magister Paladin to declare the effect during the end phase to search any Pendulum monster, and then we go for the Magister Paladin effect to special summon the Majesty Pegasus. Or I was thinking Ignis Phoenix. Either or, it doesn't really matter here. So here we're going to summon out the Majesty Pegasus. And now here's where my next big misplay comes. My next big misplay is I was trying to play around Super Poly the entire time, but in reality I ended up playing into Super Poly because I forget that Baron de Fleur is a wind, and it's a warrior compared to Appaloosa being a wind fairy. So I make the Appaloosa for 4 here, thinking I'm okay. I'm going to end my turn by activating Necro Valley over the Sky Iris, and then I'm going to proceed to the end phase and search off the Magister Paladin. I'm going to search a copy of Perform Palace Skullcrabat Joker, which I just think is good for me because if I do live the turn, I'm able to normal summon it, get a low scale, and just pop off because I have 3 arrows pointing down to fully pendulum summon a board and just proceed to OTK my because that's one of this deck's strongest things. So we're going to go. So Matt's going to draw here, go standby phase, main phase, and then I immediately am shocked by Super Polymerization, forgetting that both Baron and Appaloosa are the same attribute for different types. So they play perfectly into Mud Dragon of the Swamp. That's a Kaleido Heart because he forgot to accidentally put down the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. And now I'm thinking I'm still okay because I have a Necro Valley up until the Necro Valley gets, unfortunately, Cosmic Cyclone as it did just here. Match just opened incredibly well to my board. So now I know I'm pretty sure I lose the game right here because I'm at 6,300, and after paying 17, there's the Sheeran. Sheeran's going to send the Havnus, Mill Magnamut, and Double Murley. That's definitely not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see no tier elements there. Because now he's gonna be able to get 2 fusion summons. So now I believe he makes the first fusion summon for a Kit Kalos, and then he makes the second fusion summon for Garura, just to deal maximum amount of damage. Garuru's gonna deal double damage for 3k, 19 and 23. So I'm just dead on board here. The first fusion summon is gonna make the Kit Kalos, and then the second fusion summon is gonna fuse back the Murley and the Sheeran. That's Hatnus, sorry. So we're going to send those 2 to the graveyard to make a copy of Garura, and I'm just going to extend the handshake and just admit defeat to my opponent, and because I just have nothing else, and then, yeah, that's it. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.